Hi, Seba. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, we are welcome to you here to do the interview. So today, we are loving to having your perspective today for the developer. So would you mind introduce yourself first?
Yeah, I'm Sebastian Gnagnarella. I'm engineering director at Google. I'm specifically responsible for Firebase, for the Firebase platform.
Lovely. Firebase is one of my tools that I love it because it's developing UI and backend, front end is great. So may I know just from the perspective of Google developer, what are the most unique challenge that developer in facing when building, scaling, and monetizing AI application, and how Google is specifically addressing them?
Yeah, that's a great question. As I'm visiting Hong Kong this week, I usually visit different regions and I chat with developers around the world. We identify a few common problems that developers are having when building and scaling AI applications. The first thing is that, they don't really know what to use AI for, right? Oftentimes they fall in the most common use case, which is the chatbot. And there are so many things you can do with AI, right? Like you can summarize information, you can, debug problems, you can use it to analyze and identify patterns. So there is a lot you can do with AI. So often the question I get from developers is that, well, Seba, I don't want to implement a chatbot in my application. What do I need AI for? You can generate content. Think the things that you can do with Bio and with Nano Banana. So one of the things we are doing from Google is that set up a library of use cases and a library of reference implementations showing you how you can use AI, not only for the chatbot use case, but how you can do other things with AI. So that's probably number one. The second thing I usually hear from developers is that, hey, I'm afraid AI is going to be expensive. And that's a complete myth, right? Like AI can turn expensive if you're not using the right model to solve the problem you're trying to solve, right? If you're always using Gemini 2.5 Pro, it can get expensive over time, right? Or if you're using unlimited thinking tokens, it can get expensive over time. But one of the things we are doing from Google is, again, debunking that myth. AI is not expensive to use if you're using it correctly. We're giving developers reference architectures on how to use it correctly, how to pick the right model, how to monitor costs. We're putting a lot of emphasis in monitoring, in budgeting for AI and whatnot. And the third thing I hear from developers is that, well, AI is hard to implement, AI is hard to use. And that's where products like Firebase come into place. We have products like, for example, Firebase AI Logic, that makes it super, super simple to implement models like Vertex or model like Gemini Google Developer or Nano Banana or Vio in your applications in a really secure way and with just a few lines of code.
I love it because it's, Google provide a lot of tools, AI, a lot of Firebase, or even there's more to that for developer to use. And you emphasize that leaders, must stay technical because there's a lot of new tools to learn. So for local developer currently working on, a lot of old technology and stacks, what is the most essential, technology that they must invest time to learn, right now that is to remain themselves to be competitive?
Yeah. Look, I give you a really personal example. I've been a developer my whole life, but one thing took to the next, and I became a manager. Right, I became a manager and started growing through the management ranks. And when you get to the point when you're leading a team, it becomes really hard to continue building, to continue coding, and to stay relevant with the technology. Right, like most of my time now, it's about empowering my team, and blocking them, working cross-functionally across Google. So I have very little time to code and very little time to stay relevant with the technology, and the technology is really fast. However, with Gen AI and with coding agents, I rediscovered the joy of coding, right? And if I had to talk to a peer of mine or to developers that maybe are working on legacy code bases and ask me what technology should I learn to stay relevant, learn how to use coding agents. Learn how to efficiently prompt a coding agent to build what you want. Learn how to efficiently use coding agents as part of your building workflow. You don't need to learn a development language anymore. You don't need to learn a specific technology. I mean, provided that you are a professional developer and you know the foundations of how a web technology works, you don't need to learn a specific web technology anymore. You don't need to go and learn Next.js or React or anything like that. Just learn how to use a coding agent. Use the coding agent as your expert coder, and it's your co-creator, it's your co-developer partner, and you're just supervising what it's doing.
Yeah, it's Google Gemini Assistant, code assistant or CLI. It's always my go-to, when it's debugging, because it's runtime all the time. I think it's really important to stay in tune. New tools is happening every day. Google have updates. And okay, we look in the future right now. Looking 5 years into the future, what is the single most important social impact driven by improved developer platform that you can think of?
Yeah, something we are investing a lot at Google is, we're investing in things like Gemini CLI. We're investing in things like Gemini Code Assist. We have Firebase Studio, right? We are also investing in our platforms. We are investing significantly in GCP and investing significantly in Firebase, so they work better with these coding agents. And I'm going to go back to the coding agent. I think the most significant impact AI, coding agents, platforms that let I'm going to call them non-professional developers build applications is that now everyone, now it's a reality, but it's going to be more like a reality, more so a reality in 5 years. Everyone with an idea can build an application. Anyone with an idea can build a business. And we are seeing that already, right?
Yeah.
Like early this year, I was visiting a developer community in Lagos, right? And I was in Nigeria, and I was talking with developers where they're using these vibe coding platforms to accelerate the time they turn an idea into a product, into a business. And that's changing their life, right? These folks can now, pay for running water in their homes because they're making money out of their developer skills. And they're accelerating the pace in which they turn an idea into a business. And to me, that's the most significant, the highest impact technology is going to have in the next 5 years. That's literally is going to change.
Happening right now.
It's happening right now.
It's
happening right now.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for time to interviewing us, to having talked to us, to share with us, what's going on. Thank you.
No, thank you all. It's been an immense pleasure to be part of the Hong Kong DevFest, and let's keep building.